Okay, people, that's it. I'm done. When I tell you I'm done, I am done. Fucking done with religion and all the bullshit that stems from it. I've been pondering for years as to how, as you can see, I'm in business. I got my suit on, I put a shirt on with buttons, and I mean, Pastor Pastafarian is born again. Those who don't get it will be convinced I've lost my marbles. And those who do get it, they'll get it. Nothing could be further from the truth. I live in deep, dark Africa. The continent is seeped in religion, tightly bound in the shackles with all the ills that stem from it. And on a daily basis for the last decade or more that I've been an atheist, I rant daily on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp statuses about the harms of religion. But I've been feeling for a long time that there has to be more that I can do. There has to be a way that I can make a bigger impact. There was a time I thought of opening up a center, which I want to call the Center for Reason and Science in Africa. But that just costs too much money, which I don't have those kind of funds. And then of late, I've been thinking about it again, and there's no time like the present. I've decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to rain down hell on religion and the religious in this country and hopefully spread it more. I don't know of anyone who's doing this in South Africa, which is a largely religious society, mainly Christian, but then also we have much smaller populations of Muslims and Hindus and Baha'is, other smaller faiths. But the main religion, the main culprits, that's Christianity. So the plan is this. I am in the process of creating a website, which will be called the Center for Reason and Science in Africa. I'm going to use this as a portal where I will post and continuously update the site with information around atheism, around science and the advancement of science, scientific progress. It'll also be with a lot of information about the African context, what's happening here, because it's different to the States, it's different to the UK. You have other issues. And being South African, that's one of the things that I am kind of perfectly poised for this unusual job. There are some other things that I've been thinking about that make me just the right person to do it. Firstly, they say if there's an idea in your head, you're the best person to carry it out. Secondly, I was Catholic and staunch Christian, gospel singer, spent many, many years devoted to Jesus, then became a Muslim, lived in the Middle East and studied Islam, became a deputy imam, and now an atheist. So my entire adult life has been spent dealing with and grappling with and studying and just involved with religion and everything that surrounds it. So I also spent the last 20 years as a journalist. So in terms of conveying a message and using words, English, I do have a knack for that. So in these senses, I'm kind of perfectly poised to do this. And also having the drive, which many atheists just don't have. For the most part, in my experience, atheists either are indifferent, just carrying on with their lives, which is selfish. It's like a doctor in a place that's got a whole lot of sick people and he doesn't give a shit just because he's not sick. Or else they just don't know what to do. And so they end up just bitching and moaning about the situation in which we find ourselves in most Western countries, and very much so in Africa. In some parts of Africa, even more than South Africa. Africa is a very religious continent. It's very sad, it's depressing, and I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines, whining and moaning, even though I do it regularly, and it has had some impact. I mean, there's many people who have been in communication with me privately, thanking me for my big mouth and my unrelenting attacks on religion and, efforts to highlight the harms of religion. But it's not enough. It's not enough. So the plan is this, and I need your support. If you're an atheist, that's why you're seeing this video. I'm sending it to specifically to all my atheist friends, people I've met face to face and some that I've never met, because you may not have the ability to do this. You may not have the opportunity to do it. You're not in the right position to do it. I do, but I need funding. Funding for what? So once the website is up and running, I want to start practically. It's also going to be an employment opportunity for people. Unemployment is very high in South Africa. Where we have at traffic lights, we have people who are advertising and selling all manner of things, from cell phone chargers to advertising for businesses that are doing repairs to cars or servicing, to anything, everything at traffic lights. So can you just imagine at traffic lights, and very carefully selected traffic lights? By this I mean where I'm most likely to capture the audience that I want to target. That audience is not the Facebook audience. It's the younger generation. The younger generation, many of them, they don't like Facebook. They openly will tell you Facebook is for old people. So can you imagine near high schools, like they would get to our kids, Hindu kids, Muslim kids at school. So my plan is to get to a place where it is close to get to traffic lights, robots, what we call them in South Africa, that are close to high schools. So you're dealing with teenagers, maybe from 13 to 17. These are young minds that are most likely victims already of childhood indoctrination, but their minds are still malleable. They are still pliable. They're still able to think for themselves and change. Once they become adults, the older they get, the less likely it is that they'll be able to see reason and to wake up. So can you imagine at traffic lights close to high schools? I want to flood Johannesburg, the city in which I live, first, and then spread it to other cities. This is the first activity I want to engage in. So the funding would be for, one, printing. I want to print pamphlets, thought-provoking pamphlets with punchy words and thoughts and quotes that will get people thinking, and then refer them at the bottom to the website. For example, can you imagine stopping at a traffic light and you're a 15-year-old sitting in the car waiting for the traffic light to change, and there's someone standing there with a board or a pamphlet which says, "Think, your religion was not chosen for you. Sorry, your religion is not something that you chose. It was chosen for you. When are you going to think for yourself?" And the website at the bottom. Another pamphlet, for example, is it crucifixion, X-I-O-N, or is it crucifixion, C-T-I-O-N? Think for yourself. And the website underneath, which will be the Center for Reason and Science in Africa, where they then will be able to get a whole lot of information they're never going to hear from their teachers, from their parents, from their friends, from their extended family, because they just will never be exposed to it. It's not something that they're going to go looking for unless it's pointed out to them. That's how I was. Part of this is because I want to make a difference, but also it's almost like I want to gift my younger self. I was a very sincere Christian and then Muslim. I loved God, Jesus. I sacrificed much of my life, my career, my time, my energy, my money in the pursuit of God and all things related. And that sincerity was rewarded with the horrific discovery that it was all bullshit. And I wish that at my tender age of 19 or 18, when I was searching, fumbling in the dark, no Google, not having anyone to talk to, everyone around me high on some kind of religious or customary bullshit. When I was fumbling in the dark trying to make sense of it all, I wish there was the person I am today, a person like that, with a big mouth and a light shining brightly that would have guided me and pointed out to me the flaws of religion and why it's bullshit and why I didn't need to believe it and waste my time and effort and energy and money on doing those things and following those things. So this effort is also a gift to my younger self, and hopefully to many, many other younger people who, in turn, when they have children, the ripple effect, it will go on long after I'm gone, dead and buried. My hope is that it will go on. So the first thing is going to be printing pamphlets as much as I can and putting them at as many places around Johannesburg as I can. I'll then be manning and updating the site constantly, where you will see progress of how this mission is going, where we're now actively doing something instead of sitting around and whining and complaining about what needs to be done, how religion is messing us up at every turn. If it's not interfering with science and scientific progress, a doctor has to stand and listen after he's worked for 12 hours saving a patient. He's got to stand and listen to them praising Jesus, to the oppression of women in Islam, to women in Christianity being told that they're less than men, and Islam, man is the head of the household and women should be subjugated. Islam even allowing them, under some conditions, to be beaten, to be hit. The Quran states this. To the mindless and merciless indoctrination of children, that one grinds me no end. They have no choice, they have no option, they're vulnerable, and it's the people that they love the most that are bullshitting them and fucking them over and poisoning their minds. So, to gaze and how they suffer in all parts of the world. In some parts of the world, they're literally killed for their natural sexual orientation by ignorant buffoons who are supporting and promoting this archaic, destructive bullshit contained in these holy books. Even if they're not killed, they suffer terrible oppression and abuse simply because of their natural sexual orientation. So these pamphlets will be highlighting all of these issues. I will come up with ever creative quotes, sayings, catchy things to get people's attention and direct them to the website. So that's the first thing I want to do. The second thing I want to do is to start creating public debate, where I will try to approach academics at universities, for example, academics in the fields of evolutionary biology, paleontology, and stuff like that, and finding a pastor, maybe a priest, and getting them to sit and have a public debate which will be streamed live, and promoting that on the website, on Facebook, on social media, wherever, where it will be the format of, for example, each speaker given 20 minutes to speak, then a 10-minute rebuttal each, then a 5-minute rebuttal each, followed by question time, where if COVID allows, we're able to have an audience where they are able to pose their questions, and then to promote these videos. That's the second thing I'd like to do. At a later stage, if it grows and if it works, I have great hopes and great aspirations of, I want to make a meaningful impact. As you drive along the highways of whatever city you live in, you will find these massive billboards advertising all and sundry in South Africa, including Jesus this and Jesus that, and this seminar for Jesus is happening here, and so on and so on. Imagine a billboard on a busy highway in Johannesburg saying, think. Your religion is not something you chose. It was chosen for you. Isn't it time that you started questioning for yourself and then the website underneath? Or maybe even one of those massive billboards that are digital and you can change whatever you want on there, however often. I don't know. That will be very expensive, but depending on how things work out and how it grows, if it's successful, then that is the extent to which I want to go to make an impact, so that we're not just sitting and whining and tolerating the shit. Religion is killing us. It's holding us down as a species. And this is not about taking away people's hope and the only thing they got and stuff, because I'm probably going to get a lot of flack from atheists too. And look, if you don't get it and you're an atheist, whatever, just get the fuck out my way. That's all I'm saying. And if you can see the vision, then I'm pleading with you, help me. This is not about taking away people's hope, because religion for many people, that's all they got. No, I'm an anti-theist. I don't give a damn if people believe in God or not. They can carry on. Believe in 1, 2, 10, a million gods. I don't care. What I care about is the harms that stem from religion. If you're going to go quietly in a corner and pray to your Jesus, your Allah, your Krishna, Rama, whatever, that's great. No problem. But if you're going to, on the basis of those beliefs, tell me that my son, who might come to me and tell me that he's gay, is going to hell, you're going to abuse him, you're going to preach out against him, I got a problem with that. I'm going to speak out against that. If you're going to be oppressing women, I got a problem with that. If you're standing in the way of science, I got a problem with that. If you're oppressing children and abusing them by the horrible, sinister system of childhood indoctrination, I got a problem with that. These are the things I want to highlight. The things that we as sane, conscientious, caring human beings that are interested in the progress of us as a species, we cannot tolerate. I don't want to sit on the sidelines anymore. I don't want to be quiet. I don't want, because in doing so, I'm complicit. And I'm encouraging you and urging you and pleading with you to join me on that journey. So if you're interested in being part of this and you are of the means to help me, then please inbox me. You can contact me either by email, conningearl5@gmail.com, conningearl5@gmail.com, that's CONNINGEARL5@gmail.com. On my mobile, which is in South Africa, 083-5608-123. Or via my Facebook profile, through Messenger, Instagram, wherever. It's Earl Malcolm Conning, that's my name. And you can contact me through any of these mediums. If you're interested in being part of this adventure and this noble cause, it's a noble cause, we actually want to do something to make a difference, then join me. I look forward to getting as much support as I can and to getting started. Thank you for listening.